Hi and welcome to the first card in March's card class. I'm starting off with the more simple cards and we will move through the videos towards the more technical cards. So for the first card today I am showcasing how to use designer series paper in different ways on your cards. Now the designer series paper, the Daffodil afternoon paper, is really quite busy. There's a lot going on and at first I found it a bit tricky to use, I'm not going to lie, but once I got into the busyness of it all, I really did enjoy using it. So for this card design, you're going to need a card base cut from Pal Papaya cardstock. Give that a nice score with your bone folder to crease. It's a 10th fold card, so I do find making sure that top crease line is nice and well creased, well burnished, makes the card stand up that much better. Next we have a piece of very vanilla cardstock that we're going to add to the front, but before we do that we need to add this little piece of DSP. Now you'll notice that it is at a bit of an odd angle, and basically what I have done is I have taken my sheet of designer series paper and I have laid it onto my piece of vanilla card at an angle so that the point sits almost in the middle section of that lower half of the card. If we turn that over, you can see the angle that that is placed at, and we're going to stick that down. Okay, so I'm going to take my piece of very vanilla and I'm going to add my glue quite differently to what I would normally do. I'm going to pop that down like so, a nice press, turn it over, and yeah, that is pretty much where I would like that to be. So I'm going to turn that over now, turn that back over, and I'm going to use my paper snips to trim the excess designer series paper off. Now you can use your trimmer if you would rather, but I'm quite happy to use my snips. And I'm just following the edge of that DSP around. Okay, so there we have our piece of DSP. Now this bit, obviously I've not put any glue on that, so all I'm going to do now is just lift that up slightly and add my glue just under that point and press that down. Okay, we can now go ahead and attach that piece to the front of our card. Okay, so this is a great way of using up sort of scrap pieces of DSP you have lying around. We all keep it, we all store it, and it's just another way of adding that patterned paper, especially when it's a really busy print, to your card. Now in your kits you will also have two little dies. We have a scalloped black circle that we can add with a dimensional to our card, and I'm popping that so it's sort of in the centre. It just covers up that little pointed section. Okay, give that a little press. Now onto our plain vanilla circle, we're going to stamp our greeting. Now I'm using this as an Easter card, but you could easily have this as a card for any occasion. Okay, give that a nice stamp. I'm using Memento ink, so just plain black ink, and then I'm going to add a little bit of detail with a black fine liner pen. You can use the Stampin' Right marker, which I have done previously and I will do, but I recently bought these pens from Amazon. Yeah, I'm going to mention something else now for my minute taking, and they've come in handy in my craft room as well. So I'm just following the edge of the circle round, adding a bit of line doodling, which is always a nice little addition to your cards, and then we can attach this to the centre of that scallop circle like so. Okay, the last thing that we have left to do with this card is I'm going to trim out a few daffodils from the back of the peachy dotty paper, and I'm just going to follow that round. I'm leaving a little black outline to sort of match the scalloped circle design. Following this around with my scissors, keeping my scissors nice and straight, and I'm turning the paper. I would say that is my top tip for fussy cutting. So we have one, and then the next one, we'll just cut this out. I would recommend possibly not cutting out these flowers until you have completed card number 5, because we use the peachy colour paper in that card design, and I wouldn't want you to not have enough for that card. If you run out of this paper before you then do this section, you can always cut out the flowers from this busy DSP we've used on the front. Okay, so there we have our 2 flowers, which we can go ahead and add. I'm going to pop them onto a sort of pad to raise them as well. One there, and I'll have another one up here. That's it. And then inside the card, we're just going to repeat that lovely little technique with the DSP with just another little section at the top. And I'm going to use just sort of leftover DSP here. So I'm going to bring and you can use as much or as little as you wish on this piece here. Okay, there we have it, and it's just again another little detail to add to your card. Nice little surprise for the person you're sending it to. I do love detail inside my cards, and I try to add it where I can. And there we have, that is card number 1 all finished. I do hope you enjoy the design. If you have any questions, please shout, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.